Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Lock, Foundation Disc Golf's weekly podcast. I'm
Nice.
Hunter. Joined as always by Konner.
Hey. Wow.
Is that a trombone going on in the background?
What's a
I
trombone?
don't know what just happened. You don't know the trombone? I thought you were the music guy.
Yeah, the trombone.
I
It's
just
the one
never.
with the-
I guess that's how you pronounce it. It makes sense. It's how it's spelled. But I just say trombone. So whenever you say trombone, I guess it.
Well, that's
threw
how
me
we say
off.
it down here.
Yeah. Where our
You guys
T
say
is sweeter.
timpani or timpani?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
We had the Preserve go down this past weekend. We're going to talk through that. We're going to talk through the baskets out there. Great, suck. Who knows? You do. You probably watch the coverage. Manufacturers Cup. We'll talk through a little Trevor's trivia. The PDGA has some new rules, including a proposed timeout rule. Yep.
I'm out.
Interesting. Stop play.
And then we'll update our top 10. But before we get into all that, I got to thank today's sponsor. Many disc golfers have tons of extra discs cluttering up our closets and cars. There are very few storage products on the market that are designed specifically for golf discs and that don't waste any space. And unfortunately, the ones that do exist are terribly expensive. Thankfully, there is DiscBox. DiscBox is the only low-cost disc golf solution product on the market. It is a simple disc storage bin that holds up to 30 discs, requires no tape or glue, and is made from recycled material in the USA. So go to discboxdg.com and you'll find quantity discounts, wholesale options, multiple colors, and most importantly, no order minimum. So you can order just a single box if you want. DiscBox also makes a great player pack item. Visit discboxdg.com today and get your collection organized. And don't forget to use code FOUNDATION for 15% off your order. Thanks to DiscBox.
That would be a
episode.
swag players pack item.
It would.
Yeah, it would be.
We're bringing back the Patreon question of the week.
Nice.
This
huh?
week.
Back.
And if
it's
you don't
Patreon
know,
question of the week season.
if you don't know what the Patreon question of the week is, basically each week on patreon.com/Foundation Disc Golf, we have a weekly podcast called the Heiser Club Mailbag, where our Heiser Club members
Like a best friend meetup.
can submit questions for the mailbag. And this week's question is from Jason Dunwald. And he said, what happened to the Patreon question of the week?
Great question.
Great question, Jason. I don't know what you mean. It's right here. We just read it.
Yeah. What are you talking about, Jason?
He also
Yeah.
said, which is what we'll actually go with here, he had, what would the landscape of disc golf look like if Ricky had went to Discraft? Listening back to the old debate night, and Brody said something about Ricky mentioning Discraft had made him an offer when he signed the Dynamic. Do you think that Discraft will be one of the only companies with enough money to give him a suitable contract after his 4-year deal? So what would it look like if he went to Discraft, and do we think he would be... Discraft's one of the only companies give him enough money to give him a suitable contract after his 4-year
Ricky,
deal.
I will say Ricky's going to be one of the most interesting free agents if he actually hits free agency, because obviously he signed his contract during the money everywhere era of disc golf there that lasted about a year and a half. And even though his performance won't necessarily change that much, like he's still really good, nobody is worth what they got paid during that era. And so it's going to be really fascinating to see, like, he'll still be pretty young relative to disc golf. So it's like, who is going to pay him and what is he going to make and all that? And is he just going to re-up with Dynamic? I have no idea, because his deal will end. When did he sign that? Would end at the end of next season, probably.
Let's look.
I think it was beginning of 2021 that he moved, something like that. No, it was not that. It was
2022.
2022. So
January 2022, 4-year deal. So he has 2022, 2023, 2024. Yeah, end of next season.
end of next
2025.
season. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Had he gone to Discraft, I don't really think it would have made that much of a difference, because I think their roster is so stacked. It would just be another kind of feather in their cap of, like, they're unbelievably stacked. It'd probably mean there's one less person on the elite team. What disc would Ricky have from Discraft?
He probably would have got the Venom over AB.
Dang. Thank goodness then.
And they would have dropped it for $37.
Shout out AB, man. Back in the top 10.
I don't think Ricky leaves Dynamic. I definitely think, like, Paul was the smartest one out of the whole bunch that signed contracts during that, because he locked in a 10-year, $10 million deal, which, you know,
Simon
at the
got 10
time,
years too.
At the time, it was like, is that really smart? What if he's worth more? Now we're 3 years removed from that era, and it's like,
brain.
that was genius.
Big brain.
Because, like, you're not getting that now. Like,
No.
Ricky, when his 4-year deal's up, he'll be worth probably $500,000 a year, $600,000. Like, it's not like he's gonna get. Well, I mean, that's what he was. Pros were getting those type of contracts back in 2016 to 2018, and the sport's bigger than that.
For me, like right now, it feels like top end deal should be $250,000 a year.
No. Now, if it's like Ricky,
If it was actually a good deal for the company, is what I mean by that.
I think that certain players are worth it. The problem is
$500,000.
Ricky at Discraft, Discraft's probably too popular. Ricky at Discmania might be worth $500K. The problem is
That's what I'm saying. A re-sign
at
from
Trilogy,
Dynamic, I don't.
it's just hard because like Trilogy Plastic just moves. There's a group of Trilogy throwers that are diehard.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, it just doesn't move that well.
It's such a tough conversation because imagine like if you're Dynamic and you try to renew him at the end of his contract, or let's say you're talking about it right now, and you're like, and because like $500K a year in the market right now is amazing, but like having to tell him you're cutting half your pay per year and you've still been a really good player, but that's just how the climate of the sport has changed. I mean, I would be astonished if Ricky gets another $1 million year average from Dynamic,
There's
especially.
no shot.
Like, oh
I don't
my
think
gosh.
he's getting it anywhere. Because like we didn't see what Eagle signed for. I feel like Eagle, if he would have signed for $1 million plus, we would have heard it.
Here's the thought process, right? Let's use Simon and Eagle as an example, especially Eagle. When do these companies make most of their money from a new signing? Year one.
Yeah, right up front.
Why don't companies like just do like, okay, Rick, let's sign him for 1 year, $1 million. Because then you might be able to make things work for that 1 year. You get the boost. And then like, because I think it's the year. I think what happens is like, it's the years after that's tough.
If I'm a player, why am I signing that?
Because you just made $1 million. Because let's comparing it to like, okay, let's say Ricky has an offer for $500K over 3 years, or $500K a year over 3 years from Dynamic, but then let's just use a company's example, Mint Discs, just a company's example, offers them $1 million for 1 year. Well, it's only 1 year, but you're Ricky Wysocki. You're not worried about falling off the face of the earth, and you're making double the salary for a year. Like you take that deal. So like that's where it comes into play. Is like you could try to steal a player for 1 season of like movement in your direction. It has to be the right player though. I wouldn't do it with Rick.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like for Simon though, like that would have been a play that made sense.
Would it have had as much hype from everyone? Like I guess because Simon had been throwing it for a year, but I just feel like part of what gets you the most excited is like you knew Simon was locked in. So like Simon's not going anywhere.
You just have to pitch it the right way, just to be like, yeah, we're doing a 1 year deal just to make sure that everything works out.
If they signed a year deal to a top player, I would instantly feel kind of like gross about the company.
It would just be like, well, I mean, the player has to accept the deal.
I know, but I'm saying if MVP would have signed Simon to a 1 year deal, it would have looked like a quick cash grab to me.
Well, that's exactly,
and I wouldn't have liked.
Well, yeah, that's exactly how I pitched it.
And I don't think I don't think it would have. I don't think it would work because I think the disc golf. I think it would got a lot of stiff arm.
I don't know. Yeah, it would just be interesting to see what that would look like.
It would just feel
the longer term one. It's like the partnership. The brands are merging. It feels right.
That's definitely how the companies want it to look.
It gets you more excited.
And in disc golf, we're so used to players being so synonymous with the companies they're with. But if it was just a big blast 1 year deal with a company, it wouldn't feel like that.
You know what's weird, though, is, and we say that, and we're talking about the upper level players, but most disc golf contracts are 1 year deals. Like they're one,
true?
Maybe two. If you like for the mid range players,
well, the contracts you never hear of.
Well, we talk about them, but like there's a lot of like decent players. Like look at the Ulti World.
Look it up.
I'm sure there's a good bit of names on there. Some of them too, but like Haley King when she moved to Innova. 1 year deal.
That was never announced, but we always assumed it was
That's what I'm saying. Like I think it happens more than people think. Like you do see a
there's
lot.
There's
a lot of 1 years on there because they just extend them. A lot of them are extensions, but like 1 year deals are very common in disc golf.
Look, it's like
95%.
Now a lot of them are like your Connor O'Reilly, Deanne Carey, Paige Shue, like players you just never talk about.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Erica Stenchcombe, Carter
Calloway,
Aarons,
1 year. Emerson Keith, 1 year.
And Ben Calloway, he got bumped down from.
Yeah,
but like if you're a good player, you're getting multiple years.
But that's what I'm saying. You have to be a pretty top player to get those multi-year deals. I just think like
Conrad will be an interesting re-up for MVP.
Oh,
Let's look at that. 2026 is when it re-ups, but
the 1 year deals happen a lot. It's just
I don't know. It's only
just
recently. Look at this because if you go back, well, I guess it's because you're on accurate. Yeah.
That's the thing is like the
try to find the best player on a 1 year deal.
A lot of them are just extensions. That's the thing. Babcock,
2 year.
His is 2 year.
Chris Clemens might be the best 1 year player.
Yeah, and that's a new deal with Discraft, right? Like that was a pretty decent move, and he signed a 1-year deal. But nobody,
Proctor's a fake 1-year deal because that's what just ThoughtSpace.
But nobody talked about it.
Okay, so I would say
all of DGA's new young players they signed 1-year deals.
Yeah,
like
Cole Redollin's on 2 with them.
Yeah, it happens though.
I'd say Chris Clemens is the biggest name. It's on a 1-year deal.
But like nobody talks about that.
Yeah, as a player, I wouldn't like a 1-year deal.
I talk about it all the time, Trevor.
But
I talk about Chris Clemens' 1-year deal like literally all the time.
Yeah, Konner does every day before Grip Lock. He's like, "Hey guys, where do you think Chris Clemens is going?"
Should we talk about this today?
Should we
because
talk
they're
about
always
this?
like, no, it's not big enough. And I'm like, it's so big to me though.
So the Preserve happened this past weekend, and speaking of Ricky Wysocki, he was able to get his first win of the year, taking it down over Kyle Klein in second, and we had Matty O and Isaac Robinson coming in third, tied for third. On FPO, we had Missy Gannon taking it down, Holland Hanley in second, and Rebecca Cox in third. Missy came out on fire with a 10 under round 1, and then matched Holland the next 2 rounds to end up winning by 2. She ended at 18 under, and 10 of those under par strokes came in round 1.
I just got a Pro Tour press release email.
Oh, breaking news. This could be very boring or very exciting.
For immediate release, Disc Golf Network announces 2024 European Open media plan. This could be pretty boring.
It could be very boring.
For the 3rd consecutive year, the Disc Golf Network will return again to Nokia to cover the European Open and associated event, the President's Cup, a DGN Pro exclusive live event. As announced at the beginning of the 2024 season, complete coverage of the European Open will be exclusively available to the pro subscribers. I think we did know this, but I guess they're just putting it back in front of people. And then post-produced coverage will be Jomez Pro, but it will not. It'll only go live the Monday after. It looks like. Will continue.
Yeah, I thought they broke
will
this in the
continue to provide complete post-production coverage. Will be exclusively available on Pro for the duration of the event, and then it'll go to YouTube and the normal members on the Monday. This year, they will deliver exclusive access via its subscription service. Will not offer a standalone pay-per-view package, so you have to upgrade.
You have to
There's no
pay for Pro for a month.
There's no pay-per-view option. I guess they're just reminding.
I would say that's not.
That's what that sounds.
Because
like.
they definitely announced that this past offseason.
They did.
Yeah.
I think, but I don't know why they're putting it back out there. Maybe to get ahead of it.
There might have been like a small change in it or something.
They probably are just trying to prepare people to. They want people to upgrade now and get billed for June and July.
Probably. It's probably like, hey, if we hit him in this last week of June,
yeah, it's gonna be sick.
You can double them up. Back to the Preserve. Missy Gannon's. What surprised me statistically is when going into this event, I thought that what Holland would have had over Missy would have been like, which I guess she kind of did, Circle 1 and Circle 2 in regulation, but her advantage tee to green and driving, like she actually lost strokes tee to green to Missy.
Yeah.
She had a better Circle 1 in reg and Circle 2 in reg percentages, but by like very minute difference. And to me, like that's where I would have pictured that's going to be Holland's big advantage. But where actually Holland was actually hanging right with her and putting and everything. What ended up costing Holland was just really in the final round. She had like a 2-hole slip up, 14 and 15, which I know you can't break it all down to those 2 holes, but this is what felt like it pumped the brakes. Was 14, she lost 2 strokes to Missy. And then 15, she like almost missed the Mando, kicked off the Mando tree to the right, had to like lay up, ended up taking a double bogey to a par. I believe that was hole 15. Either 14 or 15, that was that hole with the Mando where she missed. And Missy was able to take a par. So she ended up losing 4 strokes in 2 holes. And she gained 1 back on 17, but just couldn't quite do it. Another thing that, like, it didn't actually slow her up, but it felt like it did in a weird way because, like, so on hole 8, Holland had a putt for birdie that would have, they were tied on going into hole 8. She would have put her into the solo lead. Dead center spit out on the Prodigy basket.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this more as we get into MPO2, but dead center spit out on the Prodigy basket, and she ended up birdieing I think the next 2 holes, but you saw her like when she would putt, it was like still in her head. You could see like she would putt and make it, and then she would like practice her putt again, like you could tell it was in her head, and then she missed a few high, and then when she missed a few high, she missed 1 low, and like her putts that had been pretty consistent all weekend, and overall she putted really well this weekend. she was throwing like
You have to
hard dead
be-
center putts, seemed very confident, and that you could tell like shook her confidence a little
yeah,
bit.
you have to be an incredible putter because like getting the dead center chain, it's so hard to like make putts and gain strokes, especially when you're trying to come back. And losing one because of a basket is the hardest thing to accept and get over on the course. You have to be an amazing putter to be able to have that happen to you and just brush it off and be like, it doesn't matter. It's not going to happen again. Like, I'm still putting it fine. It is. I mean, it'll shake you to your core, especially when it's a short putt to where it's like you really lost a stroke. It's one thing if that happens on like a 38-footer and you're like,
It was a bonus putt.
it would have been a nice little bonus putt, still not a good thing. But those short ones where it's like that was a putt, that was a make. Like that was a make, and then that's a bummer.
The other player I want to bring up is Rebecca Cox. Had a very impressive weekend out there. When Rebecca Cox is on, she seems like one of those players that's like, why isn't she doing this every weekend? But what I wanted to highlight more is this is trending upwards. So Champions Cup, she came in 12th at the major, then went 9th at DDO, 7th at Portland, 5th at Beaver State, and now she's at 3rd here at the Preserve.
Season.
So she's sneaking up towards it. I don't know. Has Rebecca Cox ever got an NT win?
I think she has a win, but was it a silver?
No, A tier's as high as it goes.
Well, right. So that's what I'm saying. Was it a silver?
I don't even see a silver. No, she has. She's won like 2 days in May. Tennessee State, the Majestic. She's won some A tiers.
Oh, 303.
But that was 2022. She won the 303.
So that might be the one that I know about.
But yeah, she. It's pretty surprising because she's been touring for a while.
Yeah.
And she's been up there. Like I think she's just never been consistently good. She like her ceiling's high when like this weekend, for instance, when she's on, she can compete with the best of them. She ended up losing by 6 overall. It was a 2-horse race down the stretch, but she played a great tournament this weekend. And like I said, she's trending upwards. Could this be the season she ends up getting to the win? I don't think so because right now in the field, you do have to remember we're missing Hannah Blomers, Evelina Solon, and Kristen Tatar.
Yeah.
Silva Saarinen, I believe is her name, is still dominating. I think she has won again.
Yeah.
It was a silver this time, but
The field
she's
is
on fire.
The
right
field
now.
is pretty crippled right now.
Yeah, Silva went. This is Silva's recent event.
She's been dominating.
She came in 10th at Jonesboro, 9th at Music City, 4th at Champions Cup, 3rd at Copenhagen, and then won the Norway Open, a silver event, won the Heinola Open, a silver event, won the Turku Open, an Elite Series event, and then just won the Ale Open,
Dude,
another
she's
silver
making
event.
bank.
Yeah, she's made $15,000 so far this season.
Yeah.
No, she's been on fire. I'm very excited to see her get back because like at a lot of these events, she is beating like
Evelina
and Henna.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see her get back into the full field and like with Kristen, with Missy, with Own, and see like what is she really capable of because she's trending upwards. But Trevor pointed out on my screen, Konner Montgomery with this might be her best finish year to date. Let's see.
Has to be.
No, because the Q series doesn't count.
Yeah.
Prior to this, her best finish was 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like on the Pro Tour, and she just came in at 9th place.
Good for her.
4 under par. Yeah, in Portland, she went 32nd, 38th. She's just been struggling this season.
I just like my thing right now with the FPO division is I miss the top players, man. Like it's still been exciting to watch some of these events down the stretch, but like the leaderboard is so crippled, just not having some of those best players. There's a player you need to talk about. You need to justify your pick.
I don't need to justify anything to anyone. I thought Paige Pierce was going to play good this weekend. Turns out Bonnaroo didn't do so much for her.
Paige Pierce with the quickest turnaround ever from she won, she's back, then she takes 2 weeks off.
She went to Bonnaroo. She celebrated too hard. She came back 21st, 3 over.
Wait,
she should have picked this
Did
apart.
you say that did you think she was going to do well?
I think I put her in my top 3.
You said I think on the mailbag the week before, you specifically said that she was going to do poorly because of Bonnaroo. So you went back.
You forgot.
You went back on
that course was.
That means that deep down I knew.
That course was way too easy. Like Paige Pierce, there's no way. If she was really back, we're not shooting 3 over par out there for the tournament. Like no, there's just no way.
Katrina Allen. 8 months pregnant. I thought she wasn't playing. I saw that
8 months pregnant. She beat Paige.
She had her baby shower. Like she posted on Instagram. I'm blocked, but I saw Austin Hannum shared it. So still blocked. Maybe one day I'll get back. Actually, I think foundation followers. I think that might have been how I see it. Regardless, so I just assumed she's not playing Preserve. She's like in baby mode. And so on the previous show, I just said Katrina Allen's not playing. And then all the comments were like, what are you talking about? She's playing. And yeah, she's out there 8 months pregnant. Came in 16.
Really, it's unfair because she now has
She's
the
playing
strength.
doubles.
She now has the strength of a fully grown woman and a small baby.
Yeah.
It's an unfair advantage.
Yeah, it wasn't quite enough an advantage. She did come in 16th, but hey, she was out there. She was out there. So, impressive weekend for Missy, though, taking it down. Another win for Big Money Missy. The Pro Tour hasn't updated the standings after the Preserve. Why? I don't know. But I don't think it's enough for Missy to catch Holland. Holland is still in the lead in the Pro Tour standings. I don't think it's going to be enough for Missy to catch her, but chipping away. Chipping away. And MPO is an absolute shootout. I mean, there's one point where there was like 6 guys in it, maybe even 7. It was just a back and forth. The commentary team was talking like, is there any way this doesn't end in a playoff? Yes, it didn't. But it did feel like that. It felt like there's too many guys all jumbled up. We're going to a playoff. Like, it felt like there's no way we're not going to a playoff. Ended up, Ricky Wysocki was just able to walk away with this thing. We did see some very bad Prodigy spit-outs this weekend on coverage.
Oh, yeah.
We saw Kyle Klein was victim to some. Gannon Burr was victim to one down the stretch. Isaac Robinson was even caught, king of face of Prodigy right now. Isaac Robinson was caught on a hot mic being like, these baskets just suck. After he got drop kicked by one. This was some of the worst showing of a Prodigy basket I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. We've seen some bad Prodigy basket moments, you know what I mean? But this weekend, I don't know what it was about them. I don't know if it was like because the wind players were putting harder or what was going on, but it was bad.
It was like this combination of the wind, and you also have some kind of you have a lot of putts from different angles, and also putts that like for instance on 15 or 16 where you have the big drop off behind, you have a lot of tentative putts. There's a lot of different putts being thrown at these baskets related to a number of different conditions, and some baskets just will not handle certain kinds of putts, and I think every kind of putt that the Prodigy basket couldn't handle, including some that were dead center at it, were just getting tossed out. But I feel like I remember last year, for whatever reason, the set of baskets that they have at the Preserve in particular, I feel like we had the same conversation last year.
I wonder if it's the old T ones.
That's what I'm.
I wonder if
think
it's the ones
is.
that haven't been fixed yet.
Because it was brutal.
Which is what we play on at Hideaway.
Oh yeah,
and they
we know about it.
Yeah, they are.
Those are bad.
There's something it basically
you know about it.
Throws a disc back at you.
Oh, it just cracks me up because some of the ones that were getting spit out, it was just so familiar to me. Kyle Klein's down the stretch. He hits right side. It's a 50-50, maybe a 60-40 on most baskets. And he gets what we call the Prodigy drop kick, where not only does it spit it out, it throws it out of the basket, which is just the funniest thing ever. It launches that out of those chains. Because those suckers are heavy, man.
Yeah.
Those chains are heavy. But then, the Holland putt you mentioned, that's the putt that it should catch, the hard putt to the center.
Hard putt, dead center.
Because you can't really get to the
it.
pole, and it just knocked it out of there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was wild.
I mean, the Isaac putt even was a really solid putt. I think it was even low center, and he turned it sideways and rolled it over the cage. It was, you were seeing anything you ever. But one player who didn't struggle with the putting was Ricky Wysocki. He was pouring it in from all over the place.
He just goes straight in the cage.
97% C1X on the weekend and 40% Circle 2 on the weekend.
He was loving it.
And, first win of the year. This was an important one. I've been talking about this for a while of Ricky's got to get one in this middle stretch, especially I think heading into 3 more majors this season.
Huge for him. Huge.
And what I didn't realize, Stat Mando tweeted this, Ricky Wysocki wins the Preserve for the 3rd time in his career. I don't know why they didn't say 3 times in the last 4 years. That's a much more fun stat, but because he won it in 24, 23, and 21.
Come on, Mando.
But this tournament's also only been around since 2020, apparently. So Ricky's won it 3 of the 5 times.
It's very much like a Pro Tour only event.
Yeah, and
this is because the Preserve hasn't been around.
Yeah, but I'm saying this is a Ricky Wysocki event.
Oh yeah,
3 of 5.
Ricky loves owning events. It's like Texas State's, and I know he didn't win it this year, but it's I feel like he gets all his wins at 3 or 4 events.
Yeah. Now, this is the stat I want to bring up. This is Wysocki's first major Elite Series win of the year, extending his streak to 14 consecutive years with a major or Elite Series victory,
That's
a
long
PDGA
time.
record in MPO.
That's a really long time.
14 seasons where he's had a major or Elite Series win.
14 seasons ago, I was 10 years old. No,
No.
11 years old.
12. 2011?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm 25 years old, so I was just going 14 years.
Yeah.
But I was like 11 or 12 years. Like Ricky started that run when I had not discovered disc golf yet. I was like a couple years from discovering disc golf when Ricky started.
I was 5 years away from knowing disc golf.
Now I'm a decade plus in. I work in disc golf. I'm talking about Ricky on a podcast, and he's still doing it.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So
at the highest level.
This is the list. Wysocki is at 14 now from 2011 to 2024. Interesting fact is Macbeth is at 13, also from 2011 to 2023. So if Macbeth can get one this year, he'll tie it up.
Paul.
That's got to be Paul's new thing.
Oh, it's got to be because it has to be. It has to be Elite Series or higher.
Elite Series or Major.
Oh, so it's tough, man. You can't even get like a cheeky little. I'm surprised he's got to go over to Europe.
He needs to be in Europe. Yeah. He needs the Macbeth effect to come back this season. Because last year, what was Paul's last year?
PCS.
Did he get a legit one though, or just PCS?
Well, that is a legit one.
But it was I'm saying, did he get
PCS had a very strong field. He beat Calvin. He beat Rick. I believe. Like there was good players there. Was it a full field? No, it's Europe, but it was a strong field that he beat in PCS.
Yeah, because this year he's heading over the Swedish Open. Will be probably his best shot next in 4 days. The Swedish Open. I think that's an Elite Series. So that's probably Paul's best chance because he got Oh, never mind. Everyone's there because I forgot we're going into European Open season. Because, I mean, the Swedish Open, I just said was Paul's best chance, but you have Calvin, Rick, Eagle, Niklas, Paul, Bradley Williams. It's still going to be the weakest field Paul will play probably this season, the Swedish Open, but he'll still have to beat a lot of the guys because by the time you get to Crocole Open, there should be even more players over there because that brings in Gannon and Matteo and Isaac Robinson and Kyle, like a lot of those guys, Anthony Barella, and then the European Open. Because last year, career wins... Last year, the PCS Open was Paul's only Elite Series win last year.
Yep.
And he beat out Calvin, Rick, Eagle, which Eagle, it was
Kyle, Antela, Gossage. There was guys there.
It was a strong field.
It was a strong field.
So the Swedish Open's probably the equivalent of the PCS for Paul this year. But Paul probably, I know that's going to be driving Paul this year. It's like he's got to catch Rick. Because if he misses this year, the streak's over. You can restart the streak, but now you got to go through like 50.
He could have had a decent event to preserve it. The first round wouldn't have stunk so bad.
Yeah, he ended up at 12 under, but his first round was 1 over par.
He went 8 under second round and then had a kind of a slow last round, but like his first round stunk.
Yeah, he missed cash.
That really surprised me.
Came in 53rd. Trevor picked him to win?
Yep.
Yeah, Trevor picked him to win.
Yep.
But the list goes...
It was a reach, but I didn't think it was going to be that much of a reach.
Well,
thanks a lot, Paul.
Wysocki, Macbeth, then Climo had 11 years from 1990 to 2000. Feldberg had 9 years from 04 to 2012. Climo again had 6 years from 02 to 07. Heimberg had 6 years, is current at 6 years from 19 to 24. Tell them about Climo's streaks.
Oh, yeah, let me tell you about Climo's streak. So I looked into this because I was like, how was Climo's gap in that streak in 2001? That doesn't make any sense. So I looked online. Well, that's because the National Tour didn't exist till 03. So there was only 2 majors. Climo's only chances to extend the streak were twice a year at the USDGC and Worlds, and he kept it going except for 001. He didn't win either that year, which is crazy to even think about. So really, now obviously the field was much weaker back then, but I'm just saying like that, it kind of evens itself out. Like realistically, these guys have a lot of opportunities, even though the field is much harder. Climo had twice a year to do it, and then even when the NTs started, there was only a handful of them. So Climo's streak is pretty insane.
Yeah, no, that is wild. But yeah, it's good. Ricky got this one. Now the next thing here is it has been 7 years since Ricky's won a major. So that's kind of, I didn't realize because like I'm a casual golf fan, right? So I didn't realize it had been so long for Rory since Rory had won a major. Yeah.
He piled them all on early.
Rory and Ricky are the same player.
Yeah, it's been a while for Jordan Spieth too. I think I don't think because Jordan Spieth is another guy who won a bunch of majors.
Rory's been
look up
world
Jordan
number
Spieth's
1
major drought. Yeah, Rory's been better in recent years than Jordan has, but Rory had a few seasons there where he wasn't awesome.
2017. So he's
the same
as Rick.
Yeah.
But the reason I think Rory's a better comp for Rick is just because I feel like Rory's been the number 1 guy. Like he's been the best player in the world a few different times during that stretch, and he's always been up there.
He's been very good.
Jordan Spieth I guess you could say a similar thing, but he's been hit or miss a little more, it feels.
Rory, there was a little bit of a time when he first, I think it was really around the time when he first joined Nike, where he had some struggles, but he has been very consistent for years. But yeah,
well, to really lock it in is
crazy.
if Ricky has a 15-footer on 18 to win a major and misses it. That'll really lock in the Rory-Ricky comp there.
Yeah.
But for right now, Ricky got the win here. It's very impressive, the streak he's been on, and the streak he continues to be on of just dominance, really. He is consistently one of the best players in the world year in and year out. It used to be him and Paul, but as Paul has slipped over the past few years, Ricky hasn't, which is what makes it even more impressive. Ricky's obviously a few years younger than Paul, but it makes it even more impressive of Ricky's been able to adapt to this new deep field in a way that Paul just hasn't yet. Not saying Paul won't, but he hasn't yet.
Yeah.
It was also good to see Isaac Robinson back up there in contention again this weekend. We've been waiting a long time for that. Kyle Klein adds to his sneaky good season. He somehow always is one of the most under the radar players.
This year, I think a little less. I think the way it works is when you have a guy like Kyle, the more years you have in a row where we keep saying you've been sneaky, you get a little less sneaky. This year, he has been very good. Did he get his win yet, or he just has a bunch of runner-ups?
Neither.
He
has one
got
runner
close
up.
right at the beginning, right?
He came in
Austin.
5th at Chess, 7th at Waco, 2nd at Open Austin.
Yeah, he was right in the mix at the beginning there.
He's only finished outside the top 20 once at Jonesboro Open. He dropped out. He DNF'd after round 1 at Music City.
He really should have won this tournament.
Well, yeah, he lost it on 17.
And Isaac also had a number of chances to win. Rick played solid down the stretch, but he was not on some unbeatable comeback.
No.
Isaac, obviously his trouble starts. He has that touchy putt with the drop off behind with a few holes to play, decides to run it, which I respect. He definitely could have laid it up, seeing what had unfolded in front of him, decides to run it, gets the bad skip, airballs the next one. It was just a mess. But then Ricky slips up. He has a chance to stay even on pace with him on 17. Him and Kyle both on 17 just
Kyle did something I didn't know was
just
possible.
pooped the bet.
Kyle went OB left on 17.
He yanked it left. Well,
Missy
did it too.
He threw a forehand that just turned over.
Yeah, Missy did it too.
But I had seen players miss over there. It just never clicked with me that there's OB over there.
There's a little corner there. But because both Kyle and Isaac had a chance on a very easy hole, but it just touchy enough, just touchy enough, which I kind of like that hole for that reason. It's just touchy enough to make you think about it. And that's where they lost it. And then what's crazy is Isaac, he goes on 18. He has to make eagle. His drive stinks. He puts himself in the furthest spot left where he's trying to be right. But then he goes for this Anheuser approach to try to hit the green in 2. And honestly, they made it seem like it was impossible. He stalled it really bad and wasn't it didn't look, at least from the camera, that it was so short. I feel like if he had actually hit the Anheuser line he wanted, he maybe could have hit that green in 2.
Yeah.
But he had chances to win that tournament down the stretch and just couldn't do it. And I think it's one thing to get in contention and kind of keep that confidence, but he's been around a lot this year. Isaac has where you've got to at some point take your chances and win, because that tournament was winnable for him.
Oh, very much winnable. It very much was. The other stat about Ricky I forgot to mention was he bogeyed hole 2 in the final round, which ended his 91-hole bogey-free streak in major/elite rounds. He went 91 straight holes bogey-free. Yeah. It was the longest MPO major/elite bogey-free streak since Eagle last year went 95 straight bogey-free holes from PDGA Champions Cup into Jonesboro Open. That's crazy. 91 holes bogey-free. What
do you think how many times do you think you could play Peaksview
I was
in a
about
row?
to say, could you get 91 straight holes at Peaksview bogey-free?
This is a video idea?
If you're not we're playing to go bogey-free,
I think
you're playing to score.
I'm wondering if I was playing to go bogey-free, if I could even do it.
See, because eventually, a little too easy.
Eventually you're going to give yourself no, because there are
shorts or longs.
Even to the shorts, think about. Let me give you an example. Of the shorts. Hole 6, is that the one that goes up over the hill?
Yeah.
You throw a bad shot, your layup goes to 25 feet. Now you have to make a 25-footer for par.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss that.
It could be a video.
You will have 20 to 30 footers for par at some point.
Who can go the longest without bogeying. And it's
Did we
just
do something
it's
like
just
that
an
at Peaksview?
endurance of like how long can you play
So it's
without
5
bogeying.
rounds. 5 rounds
No
of Peaksview
way.
is 91.
No way.
I think I can get 5 rounds.
I
of
need to
Peaksview.
add this to our calendar, though.
I think we
got to
should
do
just
it. Who can go the longest without making?
I think I
bogey.
can
And
go.
if we don't
It's
want
so
it to be
boring.
a super long video, we could just do a whole round. If you bogey, you're out.
I don't even know if it
and
would
if
be
everybody
that
makes
long.
it to the
I think I could go 9. If I'm playing Peaksview shorts,
yeah.
and my goal is to go bogey free, I think I could
The
get.
problem
I think I
is,
get to 100.
if
holes.
you're playing normal disc golf and we didn't tell you the objective, you might go a long time. But as soon as the objective is I can't make bogey,
Yeah.
your par putts get way scarier.
I don't.
And
think
also,
so.
Because now you're knowing like that's the
roll-away.
But why?
goal.
But I'm laying up all my birdie putts.
Also, those
Yeah.
baskets.
I'm not.
Yeah, the
No, this is the way
baskets
this
are-
way-
they're new baskets now.
Oh, you're right. You're
prodigy,
right. This is
man.
the way we should do it. This is the way we
I
should
think
do
I can
it.
get to 100 holes.
This is the way we should do it. So
Someone
that
put a PS5 on the line.
This is a way that we could do it. Is we do like
Tweet at Brody.
we do if you bogey, you're out. Like you're eliminated if you bogey. But we play 18 holes, and if you make it to the end, then it's based on score.
So we just do 18.
Well, then it's
I need to play. I want to play
if
this
they're
course
score
5
based.
rounds.
I would say
Yeah,
if it's-
I'm just saying if we wanted to make a video that wasn't 2 hours long,
I'm okay to make a video 2 hours long
I think this sounds awesome.
of just like, can we break Ricky Wysocki's bogey-free record?
Oh, that's hilarious.
well, because I mean, think about it. I mean, people would get eliminated pretty quick, and if
Yeah,
it was
as
just
soon as
one-
you bogey,
if
it's
it's
over.
one person playing
Yeah,
that
right.
style of golf on Peaksview, they can play around in like
Yeah,
you're
25
right. You're
minutes.
right.
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
sounds
we're-
awesome.
We're gonna do it.
yeah.
We're gonna do it. What's this? Wait, what is the record?
95 is Eagle McMahon.
That was Eagle
Eagle did it
McMahon's.
last year. I don't know if that's the all-time
many
record.
holes.
But I think 95.
Let's say right now, I'm gonna tell you, I would probably.
It's
I
like
think
5.5 rounds.
I think there's a chance I make it 1.5 rounds.
I think I could do it.
I bogey hole one.
I think I could do it.
immediately.
Because like that's what I'm saying is as soon as you go into the video knowing like what the pressure is, if
It's
your
so
tee shot
nerve-wracking.
is decent, you're obviously
Yeah.
never messing that up because you're just laying it up. But as soon as you throw a bad tee shot and you've got a 100-foot little scramble, there's
But I
pressure
just
on
think
that.
it changes how you play every hole.
It does.
Oh, it
for sure.
absolutely does.
There's never a
But there's
time at
still a lot
Peaksview
of-
that you're choosing landing zones.
Yeah.
Because you're just going for the basket.
still a
but
lot
now
of-
you're looking at the fairway
That's what
and
I'm
picking
saying.
your landing
Even hole
zone.
6,
Yeah.
like I'm throwing a forehand and I should get myself a 60-footer.
But there's still holes.
Yeah.
Like there's still a lot of holes where you can mess up badly enough that you have to throw a difficult scramble. Like that, it could happen. Like you get into the
I think I can-
that
let's
be
first
honest,
hole in
you
the
could-
woods that
you
goes up
could
to the
really
right,
just
like
get
you
to
kick
17
a tree or something. Like
you could just get to hole 17 and mess it all
17
up.
could be
Yeah.
tricky.
'Cause
17
you hit a tree.
That could be the trickiest.
It's a
one.
hard up and down.
yeah, that would be getting
I think I
past
could do it.
90 something
Yeah.
would be really hard.
It would be hard. That's a fun video.
It sounds.
I can't.
Awesome.
What sounds like the
Or
most
you land on the
foundation
path
thing,
on one of
it
the
sounds like the
holes?
most foundation thing ever. Is we introduce it like
We make 6
can't
holes
we,
in.
we get like 7 holes in and we all
No,
bogey.
that's the thing. I think there's a very good chance that we could.
People click on the video like, how's the 5-minute video?
Drop off like
We could
one
get-
person bogeys 2 and then 3 and then 5.
we could get dropped super quick. Oh yeah.
That's hilarious.
That'd be the most foundation thing ever.
And then we just read a royalty free book for the rest of the videos to throw people off.
Yeah, just a black screen for 45 minutes after we bogeyed the final one. Final thing to talk about here was the commentary this weekend. Well done, I thought.
Nice. Yeah.
The Terry Miller. First off, here's my opinion. I think that they want to rotate the commentary team, right? Which I respect. I understand. Okay. I think that Terry Miller is your anchor. He stays in the play-by-play. He does not move.
I like Eisenhood better.
Okay. I think Terry Miller, Eisenhood's fine too, but I think Terry Miller feels more like the voice of disc golf to me, just because he's been doing it longer. Ian, I'm sorry.
I like Terry
That's
too. Yeah, as long as it's not Ian.
Then I think you can
Sorry.
rotate the color commentary, right? Like if you want to rotate, sure. I think Terry has great chemistry with Nate Sexton. He has fine chemistry with Big Germ, fine chemistry with Nate Doss. You know, I don't think you ever do 3 in the booth because I think that just gets too competitive. And then I think that Brian Earhart and Nate Perkins should be on the course every weekend doing what they let Perkins do this weekend, which was they multiple times threw it to Perkins on the tee or on like tricky approach shots. One of the most notable ones was Ricky had, I think it might have been on 18
Did it on his
even.
approach on 18.
Ricky was in like this tall grass and they threw it to Perkins and just let Perkins take it. And he was explaining of like, you know, what's going to make this shot tricky is he has X amount of wind. You know, I think he's going to try to go for the green, but if so, he's got to worry about the crosswind. It could push him OB. And on top of all of that, he's going to have, you know, the tall grass is going to make his run up very uncomfortable to where, like, this is not going to be a stock shot for Ricky.
Well, this wasn't on 18 because 18 he was you're talking about the one where this was.
Yeah, this is the one I'm talking wherever he was in like waist high grass.
I think that was on 16 maybe because 18 he was in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah.
But they did it on 18. They let him call it on 18
they let
too.
Perkins do it all over the place, which is awesome.
That's a really good idea.
I wonder where they got it from.
Yeah, letting the guy on the ground call the shot. I feel like I've heard that somewhere before.
I heard it recently. I almost feel like I said it recently.
Where was that?
Was it on a podcast?
I think I said it on Tour Life.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe I said it on Tour Life.
Right,
I think I said it on
Tour
Tour Life.
Life.
Yeah. But no, hey, spoiler alert. When you have a sport that has as much big of a budget as golf doing coverage, and we have something that we can copy and paste and implement for free, we probably should do it.
Yeah.
And shocker, when they did it, it worked great.
It was awesome.
Because it provided so much more context. The guy on the ground can actually see the shot instead of reacting with us. He's telling us what's happening.
Probably way more fun for them too.
And yeah, he was able to provide a lot more context about like how hard the shot was, what the player is trying to do, the different options the player had. And it worked out great.
It lets the guys in the booth take a breather and focus on. Like, if you want to be a really good commentator and have those, like, iconic calls, you need room to be able to, like, let things breathe and think of what you're going to say. And, like, throwing it to Perkins, letting him call the shot. Now, okay, I'm Terry, and I can think of how I want to call this if he sticks the green here. Like, that adds that element in. It just takes some pressure off of them.
Yeah.
If they're two guys in the booth to have to run the whole show is hard.
My other opinion is I don't think it would have worked with Ian. Because the way Terry threw it to Perkins in a very smooth way. He would a lot of times ask Perkins a leading question and then just leave it. Whereas what we felt before is Ian will give that person the opportunity, but a lot of times it's like, Perkins, are you down there? Do you see it? What's going on? And then as soon as he starts talking, it's like interrupted by Ian of like, oh, okay, sick, thank you. And then like goes back at Philo. When you threw the Philopatross, where were you? Like that's the Ian commentary.
You're a hater, dude.
I don't like Ian in the commentary booth.
Hater,
love Ian as a person. Love what he's done for the sport.
Dude.
That's great. Doesn't mean he should be a commentator.
No.
Like just because you've done great stuff for the sport, Champs vs. Chumps, all-time favorite piece of content, old Central Coast,
what are you staring
rocking
at
to the
for?
Bronx, whatever.
I'm sorry.
Phenomenal.
I was just itching my knee.
Oh, I thought I was doing something wrong with like the camera, or, like the mic or something. That's why I was trying to get a cue.
You're wonderful.
Okay.
All
I
that
was like,
stuff.
Connor's mad at me. I don't know what he did.
All that stuff's great. Doesn't mean you're a commentator. That's my opinion on it.
Shoot, oh.
And I think that the DGN needs to get a little bit of a backbone. And when you got someone in the booth that isn't good, have the stones to say, hey, sorry, you're not coming back.
Dang.
That's what I think.
Dang, dude.
And I think we need to just lock in. Make someone the voice of disc golf. Make it Eisenhood. Make it Jake Marsh is looking for a job. Okay? Does he want to be the voice of disc golf? Probably not.
Dude,
but
that would
hey,
be funny.
offer him a check. Make someone the voice of disc golf and then rotate our color analysts until we find our team, lock them in, and let's roll.
Let's roll.
That's my opinion.
Lock it in. Let's roll.
The best commies in disc golf.
That's right.
The
Commie short for commentator.
the preserve.
I don't see any issues with that.
Preserve overall was great. I like it. It's becoming the identity of the event. Is like you got to go low. I kind of like
It's
that.
a good time. I will say, like, I still feel like I see so many shots on that course where, like, for instance, like 18's tee shot. Yeah, if you're trying to get the green in two, it's one thing with the positioning, but like it's just a pretty standard shot. Like I feel like there's a lot of like shots off the tee that don't present a lot of trouble, and that's fine. But like I said, with the birdie or die, I'm always more of a fan. Like I feel like that presents itself better with the par threes. Like easy par fours just aren't very exciting to watch in disc golf. But it's a fun course. It's a fun enough course to watch.
Yeah. Now the Manufacturers Cup update.
Cool trophy.
We had. I didn't notice actually. Speaking of the trophy, the logo for the preserve is the bear and the tree, and they have the previous champions' names on the tree. I know they had it on the trophy, but in the logo they put it.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. That's pretty cool. Anyways, Manufacturers Cup update. Kyle Klein had his 7th top 10 finish of 2024, finishing solo second. Gannon Burr was able to record a top 5 after back-to-back wins in Oregon to get Discmania the most points out of any team this week. Discraft led in total players in the top 10 with 4, but all of them placed in the back half of the top 10.
Dark horse Luke Taylor.
Yeah, Luke Taylor popped up there. And Ricky's win helped Dynamic Disc close the gap on number 3, Innova, which only had Double G score 3 points this week. So Dynamic's climbing in there. But Discmania still has a lead, 13-point lead over Discraft at 318 points. Discraft's in second. And then a big old drop-off to Innova in third right now at 165. Dynamic Discs is in fourth at 121. Prodigy in 5th at 87. Then you go to DGA at 47. Westside moves up a spot, catching MVP at 38. MVP is at 36. And then you have Castaplass at 23 and Mint Discs at 15 points. That's the top 10 for the season point leader so far. All right, before we get into the fan favorite segment of Trevor's Trivia, I got to let you know something very exciting that we've been working on behind the scenes for a month or maybe more, actually months now. We officially have an app. So you can head over to the App Store on your iPhone or the Google Play Store on Android and search.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. You can scroll and stuff.
Search Foundation Disc Golf. You'll find the app. And what's super exciting here is we actually have a sales-a-thon going down Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, only in the app. So you have to have the app to be able to join in on the sales-a-thon. If you've seen our sales-a-thons before, we go live, we throw out crazy deals left and right. What's exciting about the app is we can actually go live in the app and you can shop it without ever having to leave the live stream. So before, you would go over to the site, maybe have a different tab, whatever, leave the live stream, and you might miss out on a deal. Well, in the app, you can actually click whatever product we're talking about. It'll pop up a little side thing, and then where the live chat is, that turns into your cart where you can check out if you wanted to, browse through stuff, check out, and then pay attention to the live stream still going on so you don't miss anything. We're also on the app. One of the coolest features we have is a wish list. So in the app, you can press heart on an object or on a disc. It adds to your wish list, and we're actually going to be doing a wish list giveaway. So basically with the wish list, you can fill the screen with, I think it's 9 discs, fill the screen. It might be 6, whatever fills the screen. We are going to be giving someone their wish list. Friday, we're going to be drawing. So how this works is you go into the app, you go to your favorite products, whatever discs you really want, apparel item you really want, whatever it is.
Make sure to log into your account.
You heart them, right? So you get the wish list, screenshot that, and either tweet it at us or post on Instagram and tag us in it. Some way, get it to us, right? So it's completely free to enter. You're free to download the app. You screenshot your wish list, tag us in it on social, DM it to us, something. We're going to go through those wish lists, and on Friday, we're going to pick at least 1, maybe 2 or 3 people and send you your entire wish list as a care package.
Pretty sick.
So
it's like every disc golf window shopper's dream.
Yeah, so all you gotta do is you heart you heart the discs, apparel items, tacky sacks, whatever you want, and whatever you can fill on one screen, you screenshot that, tweet it to us, whatever. That's how you enter the giveaway. Make sure we're tagged in it. That's the only way we'll see it. And then on Friday, we're gonna pick a few people and just send it your way. You can also listen to our podcast, watch our YouTube videos in the app. You'll get notifications on the latest releases. There's exclusive app discounts all weekend long. We're going to be running different sales within the app as well. You have to have the app to get those exclusive discounts. You can easily track your Birdie Coin rewards and redeem those through the app. It basically just makes your entire life. If you shop
Foundation, this is the place to be.
It makes your life easier if you shop it on the phone. The only thing that's not on the app is our subscription box, which you should check out. We're working with the developer to get that added to the app. But if you're a subscription box subscriber, you can head over to our site, which you can still shop the mobile version of our site to do all of that, because for some reason, it's above my pay grade to understand why it won't work. It doesn't work right now.
Big tech guys.
But everything else.
So like $1,001,001?
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, super, super excited. I'm actually going to
It's pretty surreal. It's pretty surreal looking and seeing that, like going to the App Store and downloading Foundation Disc Golf app. That's pretty cool.
Heck yeah. Leave a 5-star review if you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, I will, Trevor.
Let's pump up the
give me a second.
jam.
Let me make sure I enjoy it.
I'm going to heart a bunch of stuff so I can actually see.
It's a pretty awesome time.
How many things I can get into this wish list.
I wish somebody would do that with my Amazon wish list.
I'm just trying to get some of these new shirts. The It's All or Nothing shirts are freaking sick.
The swaggin' wagon.
Okay, so if I go to the wish list, just to kind of show you, the best way to do it, you should be able to get 6 on there.
Boom.
You just screenshot where you have the title up top, the discs, and like the pictures. So you can fit 4 pictures fit on the screen.
It could be an accessory too,
but
right?
But if you scroll, accessory. But if you scroll, you can get the title, so you can get 6 items on there. That's the way to do it. Cheat sheet.
There you go.
That's the way to do it. Up to 6 things. So whatever you want on there.
That's a good time.
Boom. 12 p.m. Eastern Time Friday is when the sales-a-thon goes live in the app, by the way.
You don't want to miss it. All right.
Hit him with a T-Dog.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
Hit him, Fergie.
Trivia today. We got a little game called Bull.
I know what's in the Silas Select this week.
No, you
I
don't.
know
No,
it.
you don't, bro. Nobody knows. This game is called Bull. There are probably meaner names for it, but this is how we're going to call it.
It was like the card game back in the day.
Kind of like that, yeah. So
Peanut
basically,
butter,
I'm
what
going to
we
give
called
a prompt, like a category. I'll do an example one. Let's just say it was distance drivers from dynamic discs. And
Okay.
I'll say, Hunter, you start. And Hunter will say, I can name 2 distance drivers from dynamic discs. And then Konner would say, if he thinks he can name more, you'd say, I can name 3. And then Hunter will go. And whenever somebody says a
fun.
number that you think no shot,
You say bull.
You say bull.
If they
And
can't do it, you get the point.
If they can't do it, you get the point. If they can do it, they get the point.
I love these
You
games.
can raise it by more than 1 if you really wanted to. You can start it off at a high number. Like you can start it at 8. However, once you go to name them, we're going to give you a maximum of 20 seconds
Whoa.
in between.
20 seconds. Oh, in between.
So
Okay.
like you can't. So like if I'm naming dynamic disc, I can say Raider, and then you have like once you get past 20 seconds, your time's up. You
Okay.
can't just sit
Yeah,
there
that makes
forever.
sense.
So you need to be pretty confident in your ability. Is basically the okay.
Okay.
We're gonna start with a pretty simple
That's
ones.
fun. My brain is
Some
not
of these are
running
related
fast
to
enough
discs.
right
some
now.
with like players or like disc golf in general. Most of them after discs. So first category. This would be a big one right off the bat here.
Oh, I'm scared.
We've got Innova fairway drivers, and we'll
Innova
start with
fairway
Konner.
drivers.
Konner, how many Innova fairway drivers can you name?
I'll start. Do I get to retort after he?
Yeah, you can keep
so
going back and
then
forth until somebody calls bull.
Start safe at 4.
I'm gonna say 10.
10. That's a lot. Oh my gosh, that's so many frisbees.
Going once.
I'm just gonna let him go for it. Well, no. 10.
Are you calling him
You
or
call
not?
it bull or no?
It's got to be a little quicker than this.
Okay, I'm gonna say I could do 11.
Okay.
Bull.
All right, Konner, go.
T-bird, T-bird 3, eagle, leopard, leopard 3. Oh, dude, I'm already halfway through. Okay. Thunderbird, firebird, beast.
Distance driver.
Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
The J.
Mid range.
No, you got 10
Hawkeye
seconds.
is what I mean to say.
Okay, there you go. There's
And
8.
then the what's it called? What did they redo the FD as? They didn't. I got so many left.
10 seconds. 3 more. It's so crazy how your brain goes blank.
I know. Yeah,
5.
I can't.
And
Yeah,
time's
I'm
up.
sorry.
100 gets the point. So the TL on the board.
TL,
FL.
FL,
The
Eagle L,
The IT. It's
yeah.
so tough though.
That's hard.
It's
Yeah.
Sidewinder,
Okay.
Roadrunner.
Point one
Oh
goes on.
man, yeah.
Okay, next we're gonna go with Disc Golf Pro Tour events, past or present, but it has to be a Pro Tour event. Hunter, how many can you name?
7.
Konner, how many could you name?
I already know that this is not mine, so I can't name more than that. So I have no choice but to say bull. Correct?
Okay.
Well, I mean, you could try to drive him up a little bit because you couldn't.
I
you don't think
know,
you could
but
do
like
8 if you had to. Because like
know.
if you give him 7,
Dude, if
he's
my-
going to get it.
If I just had.
Like you don't have it. Like if I'm just saying.
I know, but if
you don't
I
at least,
say 8, I'm not gonna get. I might
but you
not
have
get it.
do you think you have a better chance of that than the guaranteed point he's going to get? Like, because that's a 7
I don't
is
understand why is like why the host
I'm
is
just trying to make it
commentating here.
interesting.
He's
'Cause,
trying
like,
to call
7
bull
is
on
a
me.
free
Let him call
point.
bull
That's
on
a
me.
free point.
I know. I'm just not like my brain's gonna shut off as soon as I try to say one.
Okay, then you can call bull.
So I'm gonna call bull.
Okay, Hunter, go ahead.
Chess.com, Texas States, Waco, Open at Austin, Jonesboro, Preserve, Des Moines.
Okay,
There
you
it is.
go.
There's 7.
Okay, next category. Mid-ranges named after animals.
That's
and I will
fun.
say that it can be a real or like fictional animal as long as it's an animal. If you wanted to go there. Konner,
I'll go 5.
you can name 5 of them. Hunter.
Start there.
Bull.
Yeah, 5 to 100.
Bull. All right, Konner, go
Shoot.
for it.
Okay. Mako 3 is also technically named
Yeah.
after an animal.
Well,
Shark.
Is the Mako
Yeah, it's a
3
shark.
named after an animal?
And then the
But the
Rock.
Mako 3?
I'm
It's a
giving
different
it to
mold,
him.
also named
Interesting.
after an animal. Shark, the Shark 3, and then the Rock, and then the Rock 3, and that's
That's
all.
it.
Bobcat.
I didn't think
Yeah.
3 were going to count.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
different-
it's
it's a
another
different
mold
mold
that was
also.
named after.
Well, so I can find a Shark 3 in the nature.
Point goes to Konner. I'm the judge.
Well, that's the only reason I called bull.
Well, it's a different mold.
Yeah, not an animal though, because there's a 3.
It's named after an animal. I didn't say it's named after I
you
literally
said it
allowed
could be
mythical
fake.
animals. I'm gonna allow Shark 3.
That's fine. You're the judge, but that's why I called bull.
Okay. In any case, also, I mean, there's a.
No, there was definitely more out there. I just
Um,
didn't think you'd get past Mako, Shark, Rock.
Jay is one for sure, and then Lion.
Gazelle is a
there's-
fairway driver.
Yeah, fairway. So there's
Once you get outside
more.
of Innova, though, it gets
Yeah.
tough, though, right?
Yeah.
Because animal. Because I wouldn't.
Buzz
I guess do you
is
count?
technically named after an animal.
Is that an animal though?
A buzz isn't an animal. It's named after an animal.
I wouldn't count it, but I
You
also
could say
wouldn't have
wasp,
counted
hornet.
Shark 3.
Yeah, but
Wasp, hornet
they're-
would have counted.
Like for bugs though, does that count? We'll never know. All right, this will be all right. 2-1. The next one is gateway molds. Konner.
I can name 10.
Whoa!
I would just say 11.
I can go 12.
I'm just gonna.
12. That's
It's a lot of gateway molds. 12 is
there's
a lot of gateway.
when you think about it though, yeah, I probably could do 12 as well.
But also, I kind of want. I think I'm gonna make Hunter do it. I'm gonna
Alright.
say bull
Oh man, he can do 12.
because I think he could have ran me up.
Go
though.
ahead.
Wizard, Warlock,
There's so many putters.
Magic. We'll just go into mid ranges. Element, Prophecy, Mystic, Spear, Jade. No, not Jade. Spell, G1, Illusion.
Did the
Spirit.
G1 ever come out?
It's Gateway Disc. We have them. If you're gonna let the Shark 3 be an animal name, I mean, come on.
I
Spirit,
I believe you could.
Well,
do
just if
more
it was
anyway.
PDGA approved.
Warrior, Warrior OS. There you go.
There you go.
There's your makeup one. Chief OS.
I
15.
Nice.
Konner, you're letting him off the hook.
I'm sorry.
12 gateway molds. I mean, that's you don't think you could have done 13?
I don't know if I could have put a number to it in my head.
You
I
need
definitely
more-
could have done
You need to have
13.
more confidence in yourself.
No, I definitely could have done 13, but that number doesn't mean anything to me whenever I say the word 13.
I just like him doing really quickly what I can get to, and then I add like 3 or 4 too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we only have 2 more, so Konner needs to win both of these to go to a playoff. Next, we have discs that start with the letter A. This would be a really tough one to think of.
Is it me or Konner?
Konner.
I'll go 5. And I can't even think of that many. I haven't thought of any yet. I didn't see Hunter's actually thinking of discs
I
and
do
then
6.
doing an answer. I mean, I gotta try, so I'm gonna go 7.
I'll try 8. Why not?
See, this is where Hunter has all the power because my only option is to win both of these, so he could just go up until there's a
Yeah,
number.
but he
that I
can lose when he's trying to name them.
That's true. So maybe
Yeah.
I'll run him up then.
Yeah, I mean.
So you think you can do more than 8?
No.
Do you think I can do 8?
No. Any other questions?
All right,
Actually,
you
no,
going
I think
bull?
you could do 8. Oh wait, 8.
8.
I'm gonna go 9. 9.
I'll call bull.
All right,
Okay.
Konner, here we go. Let's do it.
A2, A3,
Wow.
A4, A5.
Wow.
Then we have the Arrow. Then
Good
we
job.
have the AVR, the AVR3,
I
the
didn't think of
AVR
the A
X3.
Did it.
Is
There
that
you go.
it?
That's
That's
it.
eight.
That was brilliant.
I didn't think of the A
Brilliant.
series.
I was wondering.
I had AVR, AVR X3, AVR 3, Ape, Archon, Anvil.
That was wondering if
That's
anyone
where
would
I
get the A
was.
series. That was
I was
brilliant.
I was in a
Konner.
I
flow
didn't get
state
to- I
there,
didn't get
man.
to the
I
A-series.
blacked
Well
out.
done. Okay, this last one's gonna be very tough.
Oh no.
The last one is FPO players in the top 30 Pro Tour standings.
Oh
I need to get the
gosh.
Pro Tour standings.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I can.
Is it like if I say one wrong, is it it's immediately over?
No, you still have your time limit.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's you first, Hunt.
Let me just get the standings here. Yeah, but Hunter, you can go ahead. Okay, I've got the standings.
I'll start at 10.
11.
15.
Go ahead, Bull.
All right.
I know I can't do more than 15. So I couldn't do 11.
All right, make sure you
In the
count them
top
up.
30?
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Kristen Tatar, Holland Hanley, Evelina Salonen, Henna Blomroos, Missy Gannon, Owen Scoggins, Paige Pierce, Rebecca Cox has to be in there. Silva Saarinen should be in there. Should be some more. Oh, Haley King's got to be in there. We're at 10. How many did I say? 15. Haley King's got to be in there. Oh, no, I went blank. Valerie Mandujano should be in there. Alexis Mandujano should be in there. 30 is a lot of players.
Yeah, keep going.
Kona Panis should be in there because she just played everything.
I don't know if Alexis Mandujano's in.
Time. Wait, what's the time at?
Start counting to 20 in your head, Konner.
Start counting? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm missing some obvious ones.
Also, where the heck is Alexis?
Oh, Natalie Ryan should be in there.
15.
Alexis
16.
is not in. Take her off.
Okay, I already did.
Okay.
I think.
That's 20 seconds.
No, you got
No, I have
to
20
start
seconds
from the
per
last time.
answer.
From the last time you keep
So
track
I
of
just
that
said
for me.
Natalie Ryan. Katrina Allen? No. Who else is up there on her? Oh, Ella Hansen. Missed her. Who else is on?
Stopwatch.
Who else is on?
One more.
Owen Scoggins already did. Ooh, Like Lorenzen.
Like is in. There you go. Did
Nice.
it. That was tough. Kat is also in there. You could that would have counted.
Oh, so I got
20
16.
second. There
Dang.
you go.
Boom.
Wow, that
Great
was
job,
a tough
Glenn.
one. That was like that was probably right on the edge of what you could have gotten. That was impressive.
Yeah.
Because towards the end of the top 30, it
I
starts
think
to get
I missed a considerable, like, Sayananda's probably in there. Missed her. Because, like, the problem is you don't see players coming in like 20. Like, Deanne Carey's probably in there.
Deanne's 32nd. Sayananda's also not in there.
Wow.
The end of the top 30, it starts with at
It's
30th.
like a bunch of Europeans.
Rachel Turton, Candice Burge,
Coulda
Jessica
got Rachel.
Weiss, Maria Oliva, Raven
Coulda got
Klein,
Maria.
Ellie Ezra, Holly Finley. Allie Smith is also back there. Emily Weatherman's back there. Hannah Wynn is in there.
Oh, I coulda got Hannah
Anniken
Wynn.
Steen is in there.
Coulda got Anniken.
Stacy Kiefer, Lisa Fakis.
How did I miss Lisa? That's impressive.
Yeah, those are the ones
I
you
could have got
missed.
like 4 or 5 more then. But it would have taken every ounce of my
Right.
brain power.
I wasn't positive I could get 11, but I just had to say it really confidently to hopefully get you to go to a number that you possibly could
Yeah, it was
get.
you stretched it.
I
You got
wouldn't have
close
went past
there.
15.
Yeah,
If you would have said 16,
Yeah.
I would have called
we
it
got close. All right, good job, guys.
15, I had
That was a fun game, Trevor.
It's tough. It's a very tough game.
Very
It's very
fun game.
tough to like what I love about that game is like you'll get like usually a lot of times you see people play it and they'll kind of knee jerk reaction just be like, oh, I could name 15. But then when
Yeah.
you're put on the spot, like as Innova fairway drivers, if we had enough time, we could probably get 30. But it's so difficult when you're on the spot.
And I could name probably almost every gateway mold.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you gave me 12?
Yeah, I could name a lot
All you had to
of
say was
gateway molds.
13.
yeah, you could have got them.
You could have got me that easily.
Yeah, I was just scared. Well,
It's-
because fairway Innova fairway drivers should have been easy, but I just I knew my brain didn't work well under that because I tried it with Innova fairway drivers, so I just didn't expect on something where I should do really well. That's even worse.
You could just went through your bag. You might have 12 gateway molds in your bag.
That's not true.
Shaman 1, Shaman 2.
All right, to wrap up the show, we're just going to have to push the top 10 to next week, which works because
We love doing
we
that.
kind of have an off week. But, I say an off week. It's the Swedish Open week. The top, we had to talk about this, though. The PDGA proposed rule changes for 2025. These always go under the radar.
Was there any other interesting ones? Because I haven't looked at all of them.
Yeah, I'll read through.
Okay.
There's like 2 interesting ones.
Okay.
So public comments open till June 30th. So if you think some of these are crazy, you can go over to the PDGA. You can email rules
To do
dash.
it the official way.
Yeah, you can email rules-feedback@pdga.com. And I think you just have to like let them know your PDGA number if you're a member. So rules-feedback@pdga.com if you think these are crazy, and you don't think they should be a rule, such as excessive time, allow timeouts. So this establishes that players may use up to 2 timeouts per round.
It's so
I
funny, dude.
was trying not to laugh.
Timeout!
May use
Give me
2
a timeout!
timeouts per round. Players occasionally get into situations where additional time is necessary to establish footing and execute the shot. So I understand that statement,
So
right? They
stupid,
get into
bro.
situations where they need a little bit more time. The way the PDGA went about addressing this, proposed to address this, is you get 2 timeouts
So
during your
stupid,
round.
bro.
So when it's their turn to play, a player may elect to take a 60-second timeout up to 2 times in a round. The request can be made at any time during the 30-second excessive time period. Player must indicate to the group they wish to use one of their timeouts. Timeouts can't be called retroactively. Each timeout used is noted on the scorecard. A timeout period expires once the player indicates that they are ready to throw, or when the group notes that 60 seconds has expires and notifies the player. At that time, the player must throw within 30 seconds. So you have 30 seconds to call it. You get 60 seconds, then your 30 seconds restarts. So you get 2 minutes.
That's
here
outrageous.
in this, and you get 2 timeouts. So strategy play, if this goes through, right? Hole 18, Trevor has a 20-footer. I'm up by 1.
Okay, wait, can you use them back to back?
It doesn't say anything against it.
Nice.
So here's my strategy, right? I'm in a monthly match now, right? Trevor has a 20-footer. On the Pro Tour, probably like a 30-footer for someone. I have a 25-footer, right? I'm up by 1. Okay? So I'm going to try to make my putt, right? But I want to make sure Trevor has to think about his 20-footer for his life as long as possible. So I'm taking 29 seconds. Timeout. Give me a timeout.
Then you're taking 29 more.
Then I'm taking 60 seconds for my timeout.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm stepping up to my lie. Okay, 29 seconds. Looking at it. Timeout. Stepping back another minute. Then I'm stepping up, taking 29 seconds, throwing my putt, hopefully making it. But if I miss it, Trevor has now stood over his putt for 4 minutes.
This is what happens when you have a sport where even the mention of time in the rules should really just be a guideline, and people should just not be dumb and like inconsiderate and just adhere to that guideline, because you shouldn't have to. Like, this is like baseball introducing the pitch clock, basically. It's like you shouldn't have to introduce time into this sport. People should just play at a decent pace.
Well, what I think...
And then, but the second problem is, then you're adding a rule when nobody's enforcing time. So now it's like, the only way this is going to ever matter is if a player gets put on the clock, like they mentioned in like the other rule thing. Then you might have a player be like, I'm on the clock, I'm going to use my timeout to make sure I don't get. But like, it's so like, you can't add another element of time that also isn't going to
I'm just excited for like
so dumb.
Nico or Gannon like standing over a putt. It's like can't pull the trigger, and there's like
timeout, bro.
For a timeout.
Like looking at the body, like timeout, like trying to
and
like they just
stepping away, like shaking off. Like
it's like you just dove on a loose ball in basketball.
Yeah.
You know, and the best part is right at the bottom it says bathroom breaks don't count as timeouts, and it throws they're just considered a reasonable amount of time. So right in this specific to the second mention of a new time rule, they also write in a clause that says a bathroom break just implies a reasonable amount of time. So once again, we go right back to ambiguous time, because I could say, well, I have IBS.
Yeah.
A reasonable amount of time for me is 25 minutes in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So like, it's just, you can't, this is the dumbest thing. It's almost as dumb as being able to make putts through the cage. Not quite that dumb, but it's up there.
Did that video come out yet?
No.
There's a situation in a video that comes out. It's very funny.
My situation that I'd use this in is, okay, we're me and Trevor playing a tournament together, okay? Where he's beating me. I'm in second place right now. He's in first place, beating me by 5 strokes. We're on a hole 18. We're going to our putts. So he's won the tournament, okay? He gets bit by a cottonmouth. Okay? So he's just got to tap out his putt to win and then go to the hospital. No, dog. I'm calling my timeout, and I'm letting that venom sink in. Yeah. And then he'll die by the time it's time for him to putt. I win.
There you go.
$13,000 in my hand.
Post-mortem.
How I think they should address the time instead is throw the 30-second whatever out the window. Okay? Or maybe if you want to keep the 30-second, whatever. It should just be, are you keeping pace with the group in front of you, or like the tournament pace in general? Right? Like if we've all been, and this is what they kind of did with the on the clock, is what they attempted there, but like it should be the whole card is responsible for keeping pace with the card in front of them. Because then if I have a shot in the middle of the fairway, or I have a wide open 20-foot putt, that should never take me more than 10-15 seconds. Because like disc golf is a pretty simple sport. If I have a 300-foot shot wide open, no wind, I know what I'm throwing well before I step up to it every time. If I have a 25-foot putt, even if there is wind, I don't have to think that much about it. I'm throwing the putt. But then you get off the into the woods, right? And you have a very tight window. You have to decide. You might need more than 30 seconds over there. That should be okay, which is kind of what they're trying to address here. But if they instead made it as like a whole, like make sure your group is playing up to pace.
You should play quick enough.
Because what should happen is I should be able to take 45 seconds to line up that shot if I'm taking 10 seconds on every other throw.
Right.
That should be fine because it all balances out, right? Like if I'm playing, I don't. Tee shots, you play so many practice rounds, like you don't need to take a bunch of time on the tee.
Timeouts are crazy.
You know what you're doing.
The first time I see a timeout called on the Pro Tour, I'm probably going to laugh.
Well, what are they going to do on coverage?
That's what I'm saying. Like, just like watching somebody like literally turn to their card mate and get a timeout is going to be the
I can't
funniest
wait for
thing
like just
ever.
seeing the signal.
What do you
Like,
get?
No, you didn't call it. You didn't throw the
I
signal.
think you should get a
time.
penalty if you call a timeout when you're already out, like in other sports. Like it should be like a technical foul.
Yeah, instant 2-stroke penalty.
Instant 2-stroke penalty. Like, oh, sorry. Like,
Oh my
no,
gosh.
like I wasn't doing the timeouts.
Paul just called a timeout on the 18th European Open, but he already called his 2 timeouts this round.
loses.
He's now down 1 with 1 to play. Like, I mean, what are we doing?
Oh man. It's
Sometimes I think
so
the PDGA
funny.
just wants to like make sure their membership base is still active, and so
Yeah.
they're like, "Can we sneak one by?"
No,
them
this
here?
is gonna get approved 100%.
What's allowed inside of the timeouts?
Anything?
Anything.
Hacky sack.
Can I
Hacky
putt?
sack. I think we throw.
I'm gonna get on timeout and start playing Fruit Ninja.
I would say I think a call timeout just to extend our hacky sack game on the tee,
That's a great idea.
like a little backup hacky sack.
Imagine-
on the
okay,
oh,
imagine-
Oh, we need one more. I'll burn my timeout here. I'll burn my timeout so we can finish our game
Imagine
in Texas.
the
Hold'em.
3 of us, we're sitting in like a 40-minute backup, and it finally gets to our term. Like we're all gonna use our timeouts just to make you guys wait
Yeah.
even longer.
I want to let the card in front of us clear. We're on
Yeah.
hole 12 at Northwood Black. I'm gonna let the card in front of us clear a little more timeout.
Timeout.
I can't wait to call a timeout.
Back to
in the
back.
next
Wait,
video
so
we
the
shoot.
longest delay. This is
If
what they should do.
every
in
person called a
everybody uses
timeout,
all their timeouts. Just in
It's 4 minutes a person.
so you got
that's
16 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna use them on a hole 1.
That's hilarious.
If I was
in
a player-
protest, if you're a
player in protest, take 4 minutes on the first tee.
yeah,
throw the whole tee
announce
sheet off.
They announce your name now, taking the tee,
When
Gannon
er
are
Burr,
you-
and he's
when
like
are you-
timeout.
Oh, that's
No,
funny.
he's got to wait 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Then
30
call-
seconds, timeout.
29 seconds, timeout.
I didn't know
That's hilarious.
And just throws the rest of the tee sheet off. It's
That's
like now
hilarious. Now
we're on
nobody can tee off
a
at
now
the
we're
right
on a
time.
10-minute delay because
That's
this
funny.
card just took 16 minutes worth of timeouts on the first tee.
When are you allowed to call timeouts? Only whenever you've
When it's
addressed
your turn
lie?
to throw.
When it's your turn to throw. Okay.
Yeah, so a player may elect to take a 60-second timeout up to 2 times per round. That's just hysterical.
And you got to note it on the scorecard. So are they going to add it to?
They'll probably add it to the live app. Yeah,
Add a time.
add a timeout. That's actually how you call it. Is you just push timeout. It's glitching. It's glitching. I'm calling timeout, guys. Gosh, I mean, what are we doing? That's just ludicrous. We need to we need to make sure that doesn't go through, and we need to reverse whatever they did with the disc catching thing.
Yeah.
Where it can just be like hanging onto the side of the basket and it's good. It's supported by the basket.
Supported by the basket, below the band.
The other one I thought was crazy out of this, a lot of them are just like they're clarifying stuff, practice rounds beginning late, flex start stuff, whatever. This one is kind of funny. They actually are expanding the use of video evidence to course markings, probably a good change. This one I thought was funny. They now allow tournament directors to determine appropriate divisions for players without PDGA numbers. So tournament directors may determine
So
where
funny.
players without a PDGA number are eligible to play based on knowledge of their demonstrated skill and ability. So Konner comes to play, no PDGA number. He shows up to play the
Throw a
Commonwealth
shot real
games.
quick. Yeah, throw a shot real quick. Let me see you hit a putt.
No, like I know Konner, right? And so he shows up to play the Virginia Commonwealth games. I'm like, and he signed up for MA3.
Yeah.
I'm like, Konner, dude, you're an MPO guy.
Well,
Like,
I
what?
didn't-
No, I don't. I'm an MA3.
I love
Come on,
the
Konner.
idea.
I've seen it. You're an MPO guy. I have the right to call it. You don't have a PDGA number. I'm putting you in MPO.
I just love the idea of a MA3 level player showing up without a PDGA number, but they're decked out in gear, and they're just a really good putter. So they're just tearing it up in the putting greens. You're the TD. You're
TD
looking
walks
over
up,
at
it's
him.
like-
You're like, dude, this guy. And he's also cocky. So like you're like, this guy's good. And you're like, dude, you're pretty good. And like, oh, I'm really good. And then you throw him in MPO or something like that,
MA1.
and they just can't throw.
Yeah.
Like it's really funny. Like are you gonna have to start having tryout days before tournaments? Like if you don't have a
That's
PDG
funny.
number, come out to tryout days so we can assess your division. The sandbaggers
I think this is the
are
way-
rejoicing right now because now the TDs, if they're in league with the sandbaggers, can just be like, well, yeah, I'm allowed to determine their division. That's what I determined.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I just thought they were MA4 level.
I was gonna say the TD. If you're buddies with a TD, then like I can be a TD and like, you know, I have two guys that are like neck and neck, but I don't like one, I like the other, and they're both trying to play MA3, and I'm like,
collusion's gonna be
oh no,
unreal.
this guy's got to go to MA1. You can play MA3.
Send him to the front lines.
He's got to go to MA1. He's like, I'm what? Like I played MA3 last year and lost by 12. It doesn't matter. You've improved a lot.
You're gonna lose by
MA1.
30 today.
Yeah, MA1.
That's
Get out of
so
there.
funny.
This is their attempt, I think, at solving sandbagging.
I know,
like,
but I feel like it could hurt it just as much.
yeah, it easily could, because now you're just gonna have local guys who are buddies with the TD. They're like, come on, let me in MA3, dude. I
man,
want to get
throw
another
me in
win.
there.
I want to get another win. You're like,
Say that you deemed it the best division. Say that.
yeah. You talk dirty to me. Whisper it in my ear.
You're going to MA4, buddy. See you on the podium.
The rest of them, I think, are pretty like require restrooms and C tier.
You're gonna win that Zuka cart, and then you're gonna give it to me.
Yeah, I'd say, hey, I'll put you in MA3 if you split the payout with me.
I love it.
It's just something, man. There's always something. But all right, let's just jump into the Silas Selects. We'll do the top 10 next week.
All right, let me get into
But
Off
again,
this episode.
don't forget
Get into his brain
to
real
submit
quick.
your feedback to the PDGA if you think timeouts are stupid, or don't if you want to see it. Which I'm kind of 50-50. Because part of me wants to see Gannon Burgess freaking out and be like, timeout. I got it off in time. Well, you can't say I didn't get it off in time. What are you, the time police?
I am the time police.
That's
I also
funny.
love that the other players are required to like tell them when 60 seconds has been up. Like I call timeout and Konner's now.
I
It's
think
like,
they should have full timeouts and half timeouts.
yeah,
I want 30 seconds and full minutes.
30.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like 30. Okay, extended to a full media timeout. you have Brian Earhart out there that like pops up. 30-second timeout called, extended to a full media timeout.
Like in football with like the clock that starts ticking down. That's what we need. Like he
Clock
stands
shirt.
next to Gannon Burr. Yeah, clock shirt.
New use for the clock
No,
shirt.
you go for the clock shirt.
It would
Yeah,
be
you're gonna
perfect.
want to buy in clock shirt right now because
yeah,
it's about to
stock
go.
went up.
Yeah.
It would be fun if we can get our hands on the thing from Liberty that like counts down. That'd be a very funny reel.
It would be
It's like
really
I'm like
funny.
lining up, I'm like timeout, and then like Konner walks out in a referee's shirt with the countdown going.
That's funny.
All right,
Heck
Silas selects. What
It's
disc
a
we got?
Discraft Buzz.
Buzz.
I know it.
What?
I know
No,
it.
you say yours first.
Shark 3. Don't even know we have
It's a
them.
Shark
I
3.
don't think
Yeah.
I have those.
Daggone.
Detour.
Detour, Trav. Come on. You really think it's a detour?
Could be.
It's a Buzz, guys.
General.
Oh, see, I was on the right
Jangle.
track that
General.
it was a new disc.
He
Yeah,
went.
and I
Silas
was on
went
the
very
right track as a
contextual here.
circle.
Ricky just won. That should have been fresh
it
in our
was-
mind.
It was subliminal. You got
How much did that
sublimed.
disc cost, Hunter?
$32.99
It's not,
MSRP.
it's not our fault.
Don't ask what it cost us. That might also make you throw up.
Because
Feels
it's
great,
also
though.
a lot.
Feels great though.
It does feel great.
Yeah, it feels
Has
great. I
anybody
bet it flies
thrown
like
one?
no
I
other
haven't
disc.
thrown it. Well, I've been kind of scared to throw it because I can go throw a bunch of
It's
discs.
basically just gold.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I love their Supreme
It's a
plastic.
flex, though. I feel like it could be, like, I will say this about the price tag.
There's probably
It
a
does-
lot of MA3 players with it in their
It
bag.
tempts me to have, like, 3 generals all in different
Yeah, I
stages of
cycle
wear.
generals. Yeah. You cycle and you have an Octothorpe? That's $700 right there.
Cloudbreaker 2?
Yeah, and whenever I'm not throwing the general, this one doesn't flip up enough. I got this is actually straight from Eagle's bag.
Be careful with that.
Yeah, it's true. Why'd I throw it like that? Dang.
That thing's flippy now.
All right, well, that wraps up the show. No preview show this week, so we'll be back next week to tell you about the Swedish Open and update the top 10.
Let's go
And
Sweden.
I think Edwin Stat also suggested we might do this next week, a little mid-season Grippy update where he'll get us some statistics of like who's leading Player of the Year race right
Ooh,
now.
That's fun.
Be a little fun mid-season Grippies. So stay tuned. We'll talk to you next week.